Good everybody, it's the Wave, and we back with another reaction slash. Like I said, these be watch with me videos, cause they're not really reactions, cause I haven't watched them. It's like I'm first time watching them with y'all. But anyways, $1 million worth of game. I'm sure everybody is hip to them. If you're not, a really really great podcast media platform. Make sure y'all subscribe and follow and check them out as well. They got a ton of great interviews. But this one in specific, I wanted to check out because Jaylen Brown, not only did he sign one of the richest contracts in NBA history, but for sure, I just love his mindset and kind of where he's at. More so, it's like pro-black, a little bit more militant, but definitely still swagged out and still in the mix as well. So let's get into it. Like I always say, like and subscribe, comment some of your favorite moments at the bottom, and yeah, let's get into it.
You're now tuned into $1 million worth of games. Today, listen, we got one of my favorite players here and a member from my team, the championship Boston Celtics. Now, I'm gonna tell you about the story. Back when I was a kid,
they from Philly, yeah, $1 million worth of games. So I wonder if Wallow Welling.
I was in the Spectrum, Philadelphia. Dr. Dre and Bird was going at it. So as a kid, Bird hit a 3 on Doc, and I don't know why he looked at me and pointed at me and said, "That's when I knew the Celtics would be my team." Just so happened they won last year. Y'all know I deal with the winners. Him and my nephew Tay, they doing what they do. So I got him here today. I'm excited about this. Now we gonna wind up winning another chip. We got
Bird
rings.
hit a 3 and look.
All we got is rings, man. That's what we got to do. You know what I mean? We gonna win again this year. But
that's
how do
hilarious.
it feel to be a champion, man?
Honestly, first, appreciate y'all for having me.
Thank you, man. And we got Jaylen Brown in the building.
Oh yeah, they know who he is. They know one of my favorite players. They know my team. Everybody know.
There might be a 6-year-old kid on here that's a Sixers fan that might not know who he is.
I feel sorry for him if they Sixers fans. I'm sorry. It's bad.
And it's crazy that we had to interview him the day after.
He barbecued. He came down there and threw a barbecue together.
Yeah.
Threw him on the grill.
Come on, man. Trust the process.
Oh, he's vicious.
That's hilarious. The trust the process reference. Shout out to Joel though.
What process? Oh, he
taking shots already.
That's another story, man.
We ain't even get started.
Nah, congrats on that NFL championship, man.
Yes.
Nah, for sure, y'all.
Yes. What's your team?
Me, I grew up in Atlanta, so.
Oh, so
Falcons ain't got
see, I ain't even want to see it. Falcons.
Yeah, he ain't want to say that.
He just
like,
said, I grew up in Atlanta.
But I go with the other team.
I don't really watch football like that.
Oh, you don't?
But I'm a Falcons fan. Dirty Bird from the South, so Falcons, we're gonna have our day. Right.
No time soon. Not no time soon. Let me ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
The Olympics was this summer. You winning a championship, being a finals MVP.
Yes, sir.
Cementing your name in the history books. But you didn't get called to the Olympics when everybody.
Time out for the sports fans too. It was crazy that even Tatum played and didn't play. I meant out there too, coming off the ring.
No, you should have been in the Olympics. How did you feel? Did you feel any type of way? Did you not feel any type of way? Did you say it's cool? I'll be there next year and maybe next time. How did you take it?
I'm gonna be honest with y'all.
Yes, that's what we want. That's why we needed you here.
Complete honesty. Man, I had a great summer. I had a blast.
Yeah.
I'm in music videos.
Yeah.
I went to Mecca. I'm traveling the world.
Yeah.
I mean, because online, people perceive things a certain way. Because I was saying what I said. I meant what I said about like the shoe industry, et cetera. I meant what I said about everything, but. That didn't stop me from having a great ass time this summer. So like, to be honest, like I was in great spirits. It was the best summer in my life, to be honest. So I didn't miss out. To me, even though it would have been great to be there, amongst the greats, Steph, KD, LeBron, et cetera, man, I had a great summer.
I seen you over there. I seen you overseas in King move. You and Snake, y'all was moving around, man, on some King stuff. I'm like, they just get crowned in the country or something. They was over there. They laid it out for him.
Yeah.
I mean, Snake was out there running around. Shout out to Snake, man.
Shout out to Snake.
Rest in peace to my brother Clay, man. Them two dudes, Snake and Clay, is two major. I'm talking about good leaders from Atlanta, man, that really been holding it down and protecting young talented brothers for years. But I'm gonna say this: You get with Big sneaker deal, right? You did something different though. This is a big partnership. Why Big, right? Why them? Why you go that route when you could have went any other route? You could have got tons of money from everywhere. Why did you do the partnership? Because you ain't got no like sneaker. You got like a partnership. Like why did you do that with Big?
Well, I think the state of the industry, it just called for it. Like one, a lot of athlete deals that the major corporations have pulled back. They've been more reliant into like cloud and clickbait and bots, and less invested into like athletes, storytelling, and
Do y'all agree with that? Comment at the bottom. I for sure still see like Anthony Edwards still having like storytelling and like really pushing and stuff like that. But this is a unique perspective too. But definitely comment on this. I want to see what y'all think.
actual authentic engagement. So for me, I think the industry called for it. I think the decentralization process is here. It's among us. Like we see it in different fields is coming. Like even in media, you see podcasts emerging, which is taking power from like the ESPNs and these large corporations. You see it in marketing with content and on streaming. Everybody's marketing their products through streams. You even see it in our currency, where Bitcoin and crypto decentralization is here. It's just the state of the world has brought us to, and why not the shoe industry? I mean, it's already happening in Europe with On and other brands that are emerging into the market. Why not us start to, as a culture, as athletes, as influencers, as entertainers, start to build organizations around our own influence rather than someone else making it off of our backs, off our sweat equity. So I just think that's where the world is in 2025. And I think we'll be doing the next generation a disservice if we let the next 10, 20, 50 years go by and it's the same than it was the last 10, 20, 50 years and talking about value.
Do you have these conversations with other players, and if so, do you get kickback, or do they understand, or are they just like, man, I'm gonna get the bag?
Yeah, what's crazy is I talk about this stuff with players all the time. Like my teammates, I'm the vice president of the Players Association. I've been doing that since I was.
That's hard. I do like his entrepreneurial mindset in regards to like bringing it back to like not just like the players, but like the culture. I'm glad he mentioned that for sure.
Probably 20, 21 years old, like youngest VP.
Because you've only been in the league, what?
10 years now, almost.
It's been 10 years?
Wow.
Yeah, crazy.
And that 10 went fast, bro.
Fast as
I was going to say about 7, 8 years. That 10 went fast.
You got to remember, when
It's going on 10.
when Pooh was coaching,
I
when we
know,
went up to
that's
that game, how
crazy.
long ago that was?
That's crazy. It's been 10
We went to
years that
Boston.
fast. Man, I remember you getting drafted.
Yes.
It seemed like it was just the other day with the third pick of the draft. Because that's when I really found out about you, like, because, I got to be interested in who Boston getting, who certain teams getting. I'm like, that's when I really, really found out about you. I had seen you play a couple times, but Cal didn't really get as much TV times as they probably should have got when I guess on the East Coast. So I only got to see you play a couple times, but
I ain't had that machine behind me.
Yeah.
That machine is powerful when you have that machine behind you. You know what I mean? Like I did stuff a different way. I've always done stuff a different way, so they didn't really put that machine behind me. So people didn't really know who I was.
Yeah.
You think you came in doubted?
I came undoubted. I think from a viewer standpoint, yeah. But people in the industry knew. Like Philly knew.
yeah.
Like when I worked out with Philly had the first pick, Lakers had the second pick. I worked out for both of them, and the two picks that were perceived going 1 and 2 in the draft was Brandon and Ben Simmons. So at the time I didn't have an agent, but I was like, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna work out whatever day they flying in. I'm gonna work out the day after them, just so I could show the world the difference.
Oh, so you didn't have no agent when you went?
When I entered the draft, no, I didn't have an agent.
That's crazy on them three right there, and how they panning out like that. This 10-year later,
Highest pick selected ever that didn't
especially
enter
Ben Simmons.
with an agent.
Why you ain't have an agent?
Just when I was evaluating, I went through the whole process and sat with a bunch of people, and what they was offering, I didn't really need for real. And you know, it was kind of already slotted, so I leaned on the union a lot more. And then, you know, a lot of the agents came and was like, yeah, we're gonna move you to LA, we'll get you a trainer, put some money in your pocket, da-da-da-da-da. And I was
The
like,
whole okey doke.
for what?
That's
You know?
hard.
And he was
Didn't fall
like,
for that.
do I gotta get that money back? They were like, nah, but you know, standard agent fee is 4%. So I'm starting to do the math, and the house, car, and all that, whatever you was offering, is a lot less than what 4% would have been. So, long story short, you know, the math wasn't mathing for me, but I ended up being the third pick, even though I took some, you know, I think because I came in like that, a lot of people tried to, some of the, I think it was the agents, they tried to like slander my name a little bit, put it in the media, that he's too this, he's too that. It ended up backfiring. But, you know, it all worked out in the end.
So you say you lean.
This is why you like educate yourself on like whatever field you in. This is great. This is a great interview.
You leaned on the union. What game did the union give you to have you like, all right, I can do this
With a union,
without the agent?
Yeah, with a union, we pay dues. All the players in the NBA pay dues. We all pay like $10,000 or something like that out of our salary. That goes to hiring lawyers, hiring you know, just staff, CEO, everything that you need to lead a company, just that works for us. So all of that is our resources that we all pay for, that we agree to. So once I learned that, I just started using it.
Oh, so you mean to tell me, if anybody have any issues in the NBA, they could just go to the players union and they handle anything for you?
For sure. Security, I'm talking about, you can get, you know, private investigations done. They give referrals for financial advisors. They have a list of
You get a trust done, all type of stuff.
all type of stuff. Yeah, foundation-wise, health insurance, whatever you need. They have a liaison that's paid to make sure that you get it done.
Yeah.
So I put it on their desk like, I need you to get this done, and they do, because that's their job.
So that probably was one of the smartest decisions you ever made, huh?
One of them, yes, yeah, one of them.
Did you see, like after you done it,
That's crazy right there too. The whole fact of like what those dudes get you, and I do think that's a fair off for. I think he said what, 10 stacks.
Anybody else say, you know
annually.
what, I'm going this route?
Nah, but I just saw SGA. Shout out to Shy. I just seen him announce that, you know, he's going into his next negotiation deal without an agent, and I tweeted that I love that, because like, you know, it's gonna be like, you're just gonna walk in and say Max. That's all he gonna say. That's all he gotta say.
Now let me ask you this question: do you look at it like?
See, these guys like Jaylen Brown and SGA and stuff like that, their talent also prohibits them to, you know, kind of foresee deals and, you know, represent themselves as well. So I think that the play has to match that as well. Because I would be interested to see somebody that's not as good.
You may be ruffling a few feathers because you not doing it the traditional way. Who is he to think he don't need an
1,000%.
agent?
And I hope so. I hope I ruffle all the feathers, like all of them, because it's a bunch of players. The agency model isn't working. It's a bunch of players going broke when they retire.
Right.
And that ain't ruffling no feathers.
Right.
It's a bunch of players. It's like 60% of players within the first 10 years are losing majority of their wealth. Like within 10 years of retiring from the NBA, after making millions of dollars, players are going broke.
Right.
You know, living check to check,
Right.
etc. You can blame the athlete, or maybe they living expenses, of course, but they was 18 or 19-year-old when they came into wealth, and the people that represented them didn't help them handle that to no capacity or care to. You know what I mean? After they get you and they get in your pocket, they just go get the next one and get in his pocket.
Right, absolutely.
And this is what I'm gonna stand on. And this could be controversial. I don't care, because I lose my platform for who's coming next. If you can't help me at 18 or 19-year-old to maintain my wealth, build a legacy, and keep what I'm earning.
Don't be around when, preach, Jaylen.
And be able to influence me on my decision making, shouldn't be representing me in the first place. Shouldn't even be allowed to walk into my house. But we allow this agency model. They keep coming in and they keep stripping everything that we giving it right back to the same people that, you know, that was giving it to us in the first place, giving it right back. And something got to change. You know, it might be ruffling a few feathers, but There's been people taking advantage off of these 18, 19 young kids who don't come from single parent households or come from disadvantaged communities, and nobody says nothing. That ain't ruffling no feathers on that end. And I think that's a part of the problem where we don't say that, and we just allow that to be normalized. No, that ain't normal. You get millions of dollars and now you broke.
Yeah.
And the people that's representing you can't even pick up the phone now.
Right.
Nah, that's incredible to me. So like, nah, these people have continued to do that, and they're going to continue to do it because they see it as business and economic opportunity. But these are our best and our brightest. We're talking about these are our superheroes. These are our influencers, our creators. You know, and everything is getting, you know, they're getting taken advantage of to a certain degree.
And essentially, you got to understand this, right? A person like Jaylen Brown, who had a dream, okay, worked his whole life to get to a point. Now you get to this point, and a man you don't even know is about to get 4% of your money.
That's, yeah. I like how he broke it down right there.
Off a dream that you worked hard for your whole life. This man about to get 4% of your money, you just met him, man. Think about that. When if you got the knowledge and you can, like he said, could put the union around you and you could keep your own money, like Lamar Jackson just did, right?
It's starting to see it more, and I don't mean to all agents. I know there's some agents out there that's doing some good work and collaborating with athletes and getting the job done. But overall, the agency model is failing. It's failing our athletes. It's failing our culture. So something need to be said.
And I'm not on the agents either. But when you look at it in that light, like, bro, I'm 20 years old. I'm about to go in the draft. I didn't know you up to this point in my life, but now I'm about to get 40 million, and then that's my rookie deal. Then I'm probably about to get 240 million. Then if I do another deal, I might get 190. And you getting 4% of my money.
Think about that. Good or bad.
But you know what's crazy about that? I think for some of these guys, they can't fight past, because when these people walk in your house, they preying on the generational struggle of your family.
Absolutely.
So it's hard when your mom, they pull your mom to the side. Listen, what I'm gonna do, we gonna do this. You gonna be, and if you ain't got, and a lot of times we don't have any education. That's why education is key. Do you see what I told you?
It really is, and even education doesn't mean like actual like school all the time. Even watching things like this and just putting yourself in the position to like learn. You know what I'm saying? Like that's educating yourself.
Shannon, when I was talking about,
1000%.
you know, when I told him, I said one thing about it. When I was talking about how he said we lack exposure, one of the greatest things you could do is go to college, because that's the breakaway from the ghetto, from the hood. That's the first time we get to go and explore different cultures, you told me that when you went to college, you was like,
the greatest thing I ever did.
You met different cultures, different people, different races. But a lot of times we don't have nobody in close proximity to come in there. You know how some people had an uncle sit at the table like, all right, what we talking about? No, I got this. No, this don't make no sense. And the reason I commend you is because a lot of people might don't know. You trust your people to take care of your business right now in the real time. You who you got with you, Snake, you know, you trust your people to walk in the room with you or walk in the room on behalf of you, and because I think we got to get into that too. We don't be trusting our people.
Yeah, and
that's major, bro.
And sometimes we be misguided by our own people as well, because they get excited from the opportunity. So, you know, instead of steering the young gun in the right direction, you know, they steer them in the direction that's best for them.
Right.
What deals can they get?
Right.
What deals can I get? So that happens a lot too.
In our culture, man, just being honest, when you came home from jail, what you say? You say, cuz, who your manager? I said, I don't got no
but shout
manager.
out to guys like Rich Paul, stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? I also want to like, I hate that it's just, he just kind of explaining one side. You got to put that other side to it. It's also like great people within the culture too. That's the real issue right there.
Bro, I done seen it all, done it all, what I need a manager for. Because during my journeys and having a manager, I would be places and people would be like, Gilly, we was trying to get you, man. I talked to your manager. she said or he said you wanted this, but we had that. And I'm like, wait, I would have took that. No, they turned that down. But because a manager is also operating off of how much they're getting,
Yes.
if it don't say, okay, for their pocket, they turning down money for you. You look up, you done missed a boatload of money during a year or 3-year process where you just keep bumping into people and they like, oh, okay, say if you a rapper and you charge $150,000 for a show, but the promoter saying, I can't do 150, I got 110. Your manager just turned down 110,000 for 40,000. It don't make sense. But you got that happening out here all the time, and then you find out when you bump into these people, and then you realize, like, I lost a boatload of money because this person is chasing their money instead of chasing my money.
Man, you said that so
That's it right there. That was a great example.
well. Agency is even the word agency. Like if you look it up in the definition, like what it means, it's like your power. So when you give that to somebody, like no, you're giving them your power.
Power of attorney.
Yeah.
Go represent me. It was funny. It's funny you say that because a lot of times, a lot of these people that quote unquote represent people, they'll be selling you off or out here shuffling you around to get the other clients' moves. Well, listen, I got him, but you're gonna have to look out for them for it too. And then you're gonna take care of me. So I understand what you're saying. That's why the way you walked in here, I respect that. Because you know what I mean, we got somebody that, cause Gil don't deal with Gil whole thing is, fuck everybody, look, we ain't. I'm more the person that go. We got different roles to play. That's why. No. No. That's Gil. That's Gil. Listen, it only been one time where I brung somebody around that I had. Shout out to Desiree, because she's a monster. The first time he ever said no. Because he said she don't care about the limelight. She really about a joint. Graduated IU, University of Pennsylvania. She's smart, she honest, she know what she's doing. She's a beast, she a killer. And because he's a dickhead.
I see any type of signs, though. They on some
No, but he's a dickhead on tip. When he see her check a couple people, she's like, I like that. Yeah, fuck that. She get on that.
Right.
Because when you're a woman, first of all, black women don't get enough credit. They're running the game from music to film.
Absolutely.
They run everywhere. Everywhere they run. It's somewhere in a company that they just running a whole joint. They running a whole, but they don't get no props. But a lot of times people try to play with them. And ain't nothing like one that ain't going for that.
Mm-hmm.
So this was the first time he was like, she gonna run this play, administrate, and why not get her the money? Why not make sure she get the big bag? Because we've been giving it to everybody else, but it ain't coming back to the community.
For sure. That's what I like about Jaylen Hurts too.
Yeah, Jaylen,
yes. I read that his whole team is all women.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I love that. You know, shout out to all the queens out there. My mom is like that. She raised us how to be young men on top of working 2 jobs and doing whatever it took to make ends meet. But now she runs my foundation, which is a business, and she's like that. Everybody that know my mom knows she's 100% like that, and she did a good job instilling values and truth, and that's why I walk with my chest out because of my mother.
All right, now why? Now, because this is very important, because you lead by example. Why do you care so much? Because for those that don't know, you're strong in the community and you care about giving back in order to move forward. Why do you care, and why should our other brothers and sisters that have financial strength out here should be going back and caring?
Well, I get that sense. That's the perfect question. I get that sense from my grandmother. My grandmother was a community worker up in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Shout out to G-Rap. And she worked in the community, was a social worker. So she would just touch so many different families' lives, and students would come into her office all throughout the year to just talk about the next step and their plan. And she was a woman.
Yeah, that's dope. You could tell he definitely been around or came around from humble beginnings. Not
church as well. So she
this.
was always at church and used to make us go to church, not just on Sunday. We was there Wednesday, Tuesday, and Sunday. You know what I mean? So I get that sense of community from my grandmother for sure, because she just, when she passed away, Like you should have seen the people who was coming from Ohio, all
Yeah.
over, just all over the U.S. just to show respect for one woman, for one lady. So that you know, I'm the light of my grandmother for sure. But as an athlete, I feel like the people around you, like I said, like the machine and the people around you they want to keep you controlled and pacified. They want you to think that your influence is only used for entertainment. I'm not here to entertain. Like I'm not an entertainer. I'm not here to play basketball for you know, these owners and entertain some people that, you know, I ain't never even met. I believe that you as an athlete, you know, you're like the modern day warriors. You have influence in your neighborhood and your community and where you're from. And that influence shouldn't be just used on just money, cars, and clothes, and the lifestyle. That influence comes with responsibility to you know, take care of your family, you know, inspire the next generation, take care of your community, you know, be an influence, be a role model. I truly believe that goes hand in hand. I think that's a part of the responsibility, but everybody from the other side is trying to convince you that, nah, you don't worry about none of that stuff. Just worry about yourself. You know what I mean? Don't focus on, you just
It's
focus
dope
on
to hear. Like that's the truth because we know who he's talking about in regards to the
basketball. We'll
distraction.
take care of everything else. We'll take care of you. Them the people that be taking advantage of us, that be saying that stuff. You know, just worry about you. Just get yourself a nice car. Here, get yourself a nice watch. You know, because who owns the watch company? Who owns the car company? Like, who owns the stuff that you giving the money and all that back, right back to the people who gave, you know what I mean, to the community who gave it to you. You giving it right back to that same community. So, to me, it's always been about that. Always using my platform from day one. It's not like I just woke up and just had this epiphany, I'm gonna be like this. Like, I've been like this from day one. You can go back and do the research, but you know, just trying to be an additive to my community here in Boston, in the Bay Area, in Oakland, and in Atlanta, where I grew up, and in other communities as well. Just trying to teach them that, you know, our young kings and queens ain't forgot where they came from. You know, and I try to be an example of that.
Now,
For sure. I
we
like
had a,
that.
We had a thing, and I think it's very important that the people that you partner with, you should make sure that if they with you, they with where you come from. We walked into a room one time, and our partners with Barstool was like, they had all this money they raised. We said, we need some money. They said, for what? To take back to the hood. So, and we didn't have to do that. We just was in the office one day shooting the show. We saw one of the CEOs, and I was like, yo, she's like, come in, what you need? We need some M's. To what? I said, you know, this is a time that a lot of businesses, minority businesses, were struggling. So we wound up getting 4.5 million, and we took it back to the 50,000, 75,000, 100,000. We just gave all these checks out to a bunch of minority businesses.
That's fine.
That was the greatest thing I ever did. That was like that. When we walked into these businesses with these checks and they don't even know, all they had to do was submit, as long as they had their paperwork right, that feeling was like, you know, because, you know, when you live in the ghetto, you know, when you live in the ghetto, you dream and it's like an idea, but you never believe somebody coming one day that's going to help you doing your
That right there is real talk. Like, that is one of the main things, like, when you from certain areas and certain backgrounds, like, it's like that idea of staying with hope. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta
the
keep that
response
hope.
we got from that, like the personal and the stories I heard and like the where they was at in life at the time,
reactions.
It was just crazy. But I think it's so important that everybody got a foundation. If we in a position, you're supposed to have a foundation.
For sure.
Be able, because that's how you could, you know, because once you got the foundation, that's when people, you got a foundation? You know how to get, here. They give you that money because they get the write-off. Here. But when you just say, I'm trying to do something, you got a foundation. I know you ain't. That's why we got to educate them with the union to get a foundation so they can be able to take care of the community, send kids to college, feed them, build technology centers and stuff like that. Now, on the other note, I had some ideas in my head, and I told Gil something. But Gil think I'm crazy because he feel as though my basketball knowledge is not that extensive as his or yours might be. And I be trying to hope that people will pick these certain players on a team of life. But sometimes they never pick my favorite players. But that's another story. You got to pick a team, right? And the team that you pick, you can't pick nobody from the Celtics. But you got to pick your team to go play whoever with. Who was you picking on that team? Who was your 12 players?
All time or current?
12. You got to start at 5.
All time, current, everything.
Man, that's tough.
Who you? No.
Narrow it down. So that's tough. All
No, I
time.
ain't narrowing it down.
Current.
Current.
That's too easy.
No, it's not.
He can't pick nobody on the Celtics.
Current.
Break it down.
Who the point?
Who's the point? Hey, I'm gonna go Steph. I think Steph is the greatest PG of all time. Obviously, point guard has evolved. It's not like just about, setting guys up, but I feel like the way Curry shoot the three, man, it just, if he's on the floor, it opens up the floor for everybody else. So I'm gonna go Steph at the one. If we're going current, who do I like? I think I'm not on this team.
Yeah, you on the team.
I'm on the team.
Yes.
You on the team.
All right, so then, you know what I mean? That's a little different because I got to get the ball, you feel me?
Oh, see? Oh, man. He trying to make some people.
I ain't on the team. I'm not on the team. I'm going to just choose. I'm going to go Ant-Man at the 2. This is current.
That guy.
I'm going to go Ant-Man at the 2. Who's my 3? Either I'm going to go KD at the 3 or maybe KD at the 4. LeBron. I'm going to go KD at the 3, LeBron at the 4. And I'm going to go, who should I put at the 5? I'm going to go Wemby at the 5.
So you still think the old heads is holding it down more than the youngins? Because you picked a few old heads.
Yeah. Nah, I mean, yeah.
So you picking Brown right now at 41 years old.
At 41, yeah. Yeah, it's just, like, people don't give LeBron, I mean, maybe just because, like, we live in the troll era, but, like, that man got superpowers. Like, to be able to be 6'9", I'm 240 pounds, like, right now, sitting here. LeBron got to be, like, 270.
His knees still ain't go out on him, man.
And, you know what I mean? I don't know if he got something else going on, you know what I mean? But like,
I'm not gonna hold you. So this is like the second time recently, like I'm hearing this. Man, we don't need that to come out, man. I hope it ain't. I hope that's not the case.
40, it don't even make
from another
sense.
planet, bro.
It
Gotta
don't
be.
make sense, huh?
But on top of that, the super speed, super athleticism, he got supervision at the same time. Like, see the game, is super intelligent. Like a basketball savant, can read the floor, like, and can be a coach on the floor all at the same time. You know what I mean? Like, who has that? You know what I mean? Like, it's incredible. So, he's still it's still LeBron James, like, for sure. Like, his athleticism even though it's diminished, it's still crazy. I don't know where it's coming from. But, hey, LeBron is still on that team, yeah.
Let me say this. Y'all just got the ring, right? And it looked like y'all was going to get a ring a few years earlier before that, you know what I mean?
A few times.
But it also looked like in the past, you and JT used to say, your turn, my turn.
For sure.
Your turn, my turn.
I say we got this.
Now it seemed like it's more like in sync. It's more like, it's just more fluid. It's more, did y'all have to grow into that? Because y'all come in back to back. And it's like, who better? Jason or Jaylen? Who better? So, and even early on, coming into, I know y'all used to be tearing it up in practice, huh?
Oh, yeah, he used to go at it.
Used to be going at it, trying to figure out who the alpha dog, everybody's trying to, y'all used to be going at it, huh?
We still do. In a sense, yeah, we still do. But something had to give.
Yeah.
And I think we were younger then, so, like, as far as talent, like, JT is super talented. You know what I mean? One of the more talented players in our game. In terms of talent, so am I. You know, but when you're working within a team, you have to utilize the team or whatever is needed within the team to be successful. So I think maturity played a part into it. Like, you can't have just two young guys just trying to kill and not trying to have no wherewithal about nobody else, how everything works together. And as I start getting a little older, I realized, you know, I'm a little older than JT. So I realized that, you know, in order for us to actually win, something's gonna have to give, you know, and it is, sometimes it's hard to get to that position because you like, man, you put me somewhere else, I'll show you, the world, whoever think anything different, that I'm a killer.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I had to win, you know, you had to make it.
Because I would love to see you in DC, I'm just saying.
About you.
Yeah.
The Wizards could use
Honestly.
him.
And still at times, I struggle with that dynamic because people try to play you, and try to diminish your greatness, like you're not as good or you're not as talented because, you know, whatever. But in reality, it's not about you if you're trying to win.
Absolutely.
Now, this is what I need to know. Who get on that court with you and piss you off the most and make you say, I'm putting 50 up today? Who be talking the most to you? When you get on that court and you playing the team and you be like, yeah, okay, I got you today. You see them, you know they coming.
Nobody really talk trash. You know, only person that really be like trying to do like weird stuff and talk trash is Dylan Brooks.
I knew he was good, Dave Hill. For sure.
Dylan Brooks, he's like,
The
that's
OC.
just like his gimmick though. Like that's some players, you know, they do whatever they need to do to stick in the league. So they like to, you know, talk trash, try to get under your skin, try to do like push you a little bit for no reason and all that little type stuff. That's the only person that's really done that to me. But nobody else really do that. Maybe a little bit. The guy from Indiana, Nimhard, in the playoffs, he was doing a little bit of that. Try to like, you know, tug on your shorts a little bit or just doing like stuff to try to get into like just so you notice.
He done got soft, man. They
I'ma
don't
say
need
this,
talk shit no more.
I'm gonna say this, Joe. I'm gonna say this. I gotta say
Guys
this.
be talking. They just don't be talking to me.
I gotta say this.
I'm about to say, because you definitely look like you be talking.
Sometimes, not all the time.
I don't know, it's just your body language then. Because you definitely, you be looking like you be talking. And I'm like,
I'm gonna say this.
he out there talking crazy to us.
A lot of people. there's a
Nah,
lot of
Jalen
people
is just
sitting
dunk
out
on
here,
you.
right, with fans and everybody talking about the NBA is not what it is. They don't care about the fans no more. They're not going hard, all this stuff. You got the media, right? And then you got him, right? He disrespect the game because I'm gonna say this. He's a part of the media in this point. He just told Jeff Teague that he named 15 players in the NBA that he'd cook, right? It's crazy, right?
I seen Gilly got game though. I seen.
He said, listen, hold up. He said he'd cook just any random 4 people on the Nets, any random 4 people on Toronto. Then he said, what's my man name that play on he coming off the bench on Milwaukee?
Rob Dillingham.
Him?
I said Rob Dillingham.
He said he'd cook him. Saxon.
He's not cooking Rob.
I said Reed.
That's
What
my
about
young-
the boy
that's-
Saxon?
Colin Sexton.
He's not cooking. He's not cooking young boy.
That's what I'm saying. People don't even respect. You gotta do.
Nah, I'm not co-signing that.
See-
Gil, I'm not co-signing that, Gil.
But he said
I'm
15
not
players.
co-signing
I
that.
would want to see this for sure. Like, one of these players got to play him for sure. We got to see this.
I said
Not at all.
Jose Alvarado.
Oh, nah. He,
From the Pelicans.
he got defense, though.
Okay.
Ho,
See, he didn't sound what cookie. He didn't sound what cook Jose.
You might be good.
I told you. He said,
Jose.
no, he seen my game. He said,
Jose.
okay.
Jose, strap up. Only you not.
No, but you took
Jose
too long.
strap.
So he trying to clean it up now. Cuz.
No, only thing is you might be like, how tall are you?
5'9.5".
Yeah, you might be taller than him.
Because I told you.
What about the guy that back up? Tell me about the guy that back up Kurt Steph.
Oh yeah, the Steph Curry backup, the white boy, Poinski or something, left-handed.
Podinski or something.
Yeah, I'm cooking him. He a bootleg me. First of all, if you left-handed, I'm definitely cooking you. I'm coming right at you.
Copy.
I don't know, man. But how do you feel about the media?
3-time MVP, man.
How do you feel about the people?
Big 3, man.
Yeah, big three. And he did it in Boston.
Yeah, absolutely.
Last one, you got that
last one was here, right?
I was supposed to be there. I couldn't
had
make
4
it.
points.
I
You
couldn't
did
make
good
it.
that game.
Shout out to the big three.
Yeah, shout out to them. But no, and then, all right, so you got the people that talk. And then you got people from the old media, the most critical of players. And I had to realize, right, because Gil be knowing little sports stuff more than me. I'm thinking a lot of these dudes played. A lot of these dudes never even stepped on the court. How do you deal with criticism from them and then criticism from fans that just feel as though they want, a lot of times fans just want a knockout when they go to a boxing fight. They don't want to watch the whole fight and the strategy no more. Everything is what I want right now. If I don't get what I want, I got some type of criticism, and I'm always, how do you deal with that?
Yeah, you got some great questions today. First, that's twofold. First, with the fans, nowadays in this era, it's all about gambling. So that's the fan engagement from now. It's created almost...
My parlay up.
That's what makes sense. Okay.
It's created a hostile environment almost for athletes because, it don't even matter. I can have a good game and still be online.
I needed one more point.
I ain't gonna lie, you fucked me up about a half a point a couple times.
You know what I mean? And be like, yo, I try not to even log into because I be, my mind be on other stuff, so I try not to be on social media. But if I do happen to get on, if I do happen to just scroll, the comments be like, fuck you nigga, da 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 da. Like if I see you in the street, I'm
damn.
About
for real.
That parlay up. That was that parlay when they had 8 teams on it for 62
for real, man. Like, dang. Deep like that.
$5.
And I'm gonna say this to the camera. If one of you parlay run up on me, I'm gonna fuck you up. I'm telling you. I'm telling
Like
you.
that.
That's why he keep his black gloves on.
You got the gloves? Yeah, you got the
parlay gloves
Ninja
on.
Jones. You know martial arts?
No, they call parlay gloves.
Try it if you want to. That's all I'm gonna say.
What martial arts you practice?
I do Muay Thai and Tai Chi.
I got 13 black belts.
Get the
Because
13 black
I
belts.
created my own style called Lo Quan Do. Named after me, Wallo Lo Quan Do. I created that.
came up in jail, man. he learned that whole style.
If he got black gloves on, you don't with nobody to do that. That's,
Yeah, he did come in on some hit like.
Yeah, he got the gloves on. He might kick you through the window. All that.
The second part of that I want to answer too, because the OGs that be analysts and stuff like that, some of them didn't play, but the ones that didn't play too, be same as hypercritical, and they call it constructive criticism and all that. And you know, it is what it is, but it comes from an understanding. But this is where I came to that understanding, is that, you know, a lot of the sweat equity from the players that came before kind of built the league into what it is now. Mm-hmm. So you got players signing $200 million, $100 million, and that was nowhere near the talent of some of these old heads.
Right.
So they see that and automatically it make them
critical.
Better. Why? Because, you know, one, their agent probably screwed them, their financial advisor probably screwed them on some money. They didn't make as much money. The NBA don't pick up their phone calls. So, you know, they got to lash it out somewhere on someone. So they start talking trash about. Yeah. So this is why I don't want to go at them, but I will praise the ones who give their flowers to the next generation. And one of my OGs and one of the people that does it the best is Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce. Like I've only seen, especially KG, but I've only seen KG. When I chime into their podcast, when I look and see what they got going on, I only
those
see
two
him.
are good for sure. Cause KG definitely always showing love, like nothing but love, definitely.
Giving love and light to the next generation of players, like, you know, all the time. You know, despite what, you know, what people might feel about him or his career in the past or how much money he's made, seems to be over the moon when he hears like somebody signing a new deal.
You know why?
Why?
He was the first one to sign for $1.19.
Yeah, that's true.
He was the first one to get. That's why they called him the big ticket.
How much what's the name signed for?
So
Larry Johnson, didn't he sign for something crazy?
A lot of them signed, but Kevin Garnett was the first one to really like, boom, it was like, oh, like, so he not one of them bitter ass old heads. He one of them old heads that got his money. You feel what I'm saying? He got his worth. A lot of the old heads, they ain't get their money. He was in a 6-year, $14 million contract, was a whole star out here, man.
That's true.
And then you see
6 years, 14.
Yeah, man, he was on some dumb. Now you see, now
The
my
league has really changed because just think about that. Like you the star, only making 14 million, but look how much money the team and this is why like it's important for it to be like a player league as well. And a lot of what Jaylen is touching on is, these are great points.
get 6 year, 300 million.
We get paid. We get paid.
Matter of
Shit, I
fact,
got it.
are you still the highest paid player in the league?
Second.
Yeah, because he was the highest paid player in the league.
Damn.
How it felt that day, though?
Huh?
How did it feel that day?
You didn't have no agent when you done that?
I had an agent when I did that one.
Oh, I was ready to say.
Yeah, but not a 4%.
They
Not a
said,
4% agent.
he said, no way they're going to give you all that chicken without having an agent.
I mean, and shout out to the people that do a lot of great work, but for me, it didn't add up. The math wasn't mathing. But that day felt amazing. That day was crazy. I was at MIT actually. I just came from MIT. I came from MIT. I'm here. I just did a collaboration. This is my brand right here, and I just did a collaboration.
What's the name of it?
My brand is 741.
Oh, you ain't bring no gear, man.
Yeah, you ain't even bring us
You ain't bring no gear. Like,
you
you
could have
walk
brought
in
me
with
some
gear and shit
gloves.
on.
I would have walked around.
I'd have had the
some
gloves.
deep
You know I'm a martial artist.
I got y'all.
Yeah,
For sure.
send me some sneaks too, man. They your sneaks,
y'all
right?
pull up to the event tonight. Yeah, these are sneaks too.
Yeah, man, I'd have rocked me, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
you don't.
I got you. But yeah, I just did a collaboration with the Media Lab
Yeah.
at MIT. So like a part of the design process, I want to include technology, engineering, and science into like the DNA fabric and stuff like that, and of the brand. So MIT, they're doing a moon launch in 5 days, where they're doing some, what do you call it, a test run at a company called what was it called, Alaria or something like that. They do architecture on the moon, Amarilla or something, I can't think of the name, but they do architecture and design, like what hospitality on the moon and stuff is gonna look like. So they built like a test deck or whatever, and I just came from MIT before I walked in where I walked in here.
Why? I said something one time on a show, and I was basically telling somebody, like, it's cool to be smart, because in the ghetto sometimes we market and promote ignorance. You always lead with your brain and your intelligence. No matter anywhere you get, any room you get in, you always lead with that. Why is it so important to read? Why is it so important to do your own personal research? And don't let people market ideas to your mind that you don't know nothing about. Why is it so important? Because this is your thing. Why is that so important for the viewer?
Well, one thing, it comes from my family. So shout out to my mom and everybody that, kind of instilled that into me. But two, we live in this, we live in the stupid era. We live in the lazy era. We live in the era of headlines and clickbait. We live in the area of people of controlled thoughts.
Control thoughts.
Like nobody wants to think for themselves.
That's a great term he put right there, controlled thoughts, for sure.
They just want to read the headline and swear they know everything about a
Just
topic.
watch something for 15
everybody's
seconds, 30
lazy. Nobody
seconds.
want to put in the work, do their research, or et cetera. So we live in that era. So I think people is subjective of what intelligence looks like. It's a bunch of different ways we measure intelligence. Some people consider it for creativity, being able to turn nothing into something. Stephen Hawking said intelligence is the adapt to change. So being how well you adapt into environments can be viewed as a form of intelligence. Standard IQ, how you memorize information. There's a bunch of different ways you can measure that. But there's a bunch of different ways you can measure stupid as well. So in our generation, I think even just being able to think for yourself would just separate you from the pack. So I'm always just pro that. I don't think I'm above nobody or better than nobody, but if it's something to be learned, I'm down. I'm a student. I love to learn, and I think I'm gonna just continue to do that for the rest of my life.
So how often do you read these days?
Me, reading the actual book, I'm kind of been in a phase where I haven't actually turned the pages, but I do a lot of audiobooks. Now, because it's just easier. I could be in the gym, I could be in a car, I could be on a plane, and I could just have it rather than just turning the pages. So I read all the time. And then I feel like podcasts, if it's audiobooks, I feel like listening to podcasts is like the new form of reading. So I listen to a bunch of different podcasts on different topics, politics, education, masculinity, spirituality. I listen to all different type of podcasts to kind of keep my brain, moving. But I haven't actually turned the pages in a little bit.
Is you going to teach after you retire?
I teach now.
But I'm talking about like really going, like you.
Yeah, people always ask me like, what would you be doing right now if it wasn't for if you didn't play basketball? And I mean, it's a lot of different ways I would go. But one thing that I love, like, cause I think it's just in my blood, in my DNA. My mom is a teacher. My grandma was a teacher. All her sisters were teachers.
Okay.
I think I'll probably be teaching.
Like just passing along the information though. That's a
So
form of
when it's all
educating
said and
as
done,
well.
what you want your legacy to be remembered as?
That's one of my favorite questions. When it's all said and done, I want my legacy to be remembered as like Jaylen pioneered or elevated the mind of athletes so that, they could see their value, they could see their true influence, and that they deals, how they carry themselves and handle themselves reflects that in the future. And they can point back at how, Jaylen,
I love how
himself.
you pointed that out, how you carry yourself and how you handle it yourself, because that's it just in life in general, for sure. How you see yourself is how everybody else gonna see you, for sure.
Throughout his career, and they can use that as a North Star.
So where did you develop your leadership skills from?
Yeah.
Because, I seen a clip, I believe y'all was in the finals, and it was you that was really keeping everybody like, you know what I'm saying? And you got dudes like Al, you got dudes like Tito on the team.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Al has got probably 17, 18 years in it. But it was you that was really, in the video I seen, it was you that was really keeping everybody like,
For sure.
like, where do you get those leadership qualities from? Was it something you always had? Was it something you had to develop when you got to college or when you got to the league?
It's something I think it's in you. I'm a firm believer, like, leadership
destined
is a
for your
skill that could be
destiny.
developed and worked on, but the best of leaders is in you. I think it was always in me to be this. And it took the amount of courage, security in order to be in an environment to let it out. But over the last years, I've been the leader of our team, for sure. Like the team moved to me, like I'm the vocal leader. I'm the one, like I gotta make sure everybody's feeling good, talk to everybody, touch everybody. Because like in NBA, grown men, like they don't be talking. Like it'll go days and dudes will just be in their zone. They'll still be doing their job, but it just wouldn't be that. You have to have those connection points if you want to do something special. So I try to be the connector to make sure everybody's feeling good, in the environment on the team. Even if that means I got to take like a little bit of a backseat for, statistically or whatever,
Right.
just to make sure that everybody's
Right.
good. Because when it matters, that's when I pride myself when trying to be there for my team. And those are the moments I want to show up for when everything's going wrong. Like our team's not playing well, not shooting the ball well. Those are the moments where, my game is going to shine through if I am who I say I am.
Yeah.
I like that.
But if we playing somebody else, if we playing
Standing
your
on
boys,
business.
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like we let PP go for 30. We let Sam get up 10 threes. You know what I mean? We let, D White get feeling comfortable.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because it just empowered them. Because I'm going to need them down the line. We all need each other. So
The team
if
is
I
the
am
team.
who I say I am, you know what I mean? I'm all right. I'm cool. I don't need a security. I don't need to drop 30 every night. I don't need to try to do that. I just need to make sure my team is clicking on all cylinders.
Do you still, because I don't know, but like when you got to the league, when you first got there, it used to just look like you just played with like a chip on your shoulder. Like, do you still got that chip on your shoulder when you out there? Because you see all these media guys, all these analysts, they'll do a top 10 list, but they won't have you in there. But you got everything that none of the top 10 players in the top 10 list have.
Jaylen top 10 in the league, definitely wanna. I have to like go back on that for sure. I'm pushing. I need a top 12, top 15, but I'm not mad at him being top 10. But I think you could possibly name 10 players better. Maybe.
A lot of them. I'm not gonna say none of them, but a lot of them. You got a championship, you got a finals MVP, and I don't think that they also, I think when they judging players, they only look at offense.
That's it. That's how they measure the game today.
They don't look at both ways. They don't look at, well, no, he locked down on defense too. He also put up a shitload of points. He's also highly productive, but he also is locking one of the best players down on their team on offense. They don't look at that.
Nah, they don't. We don't measure the game like that no more. The game has changed, and I think it's like you call it the Steph Curry era,
threes and
or whatever
and offense.
You know, and it's also the business,
the money
game.
of what you're producing.
What people have wanted to see is the threes and the highlights. So that's what we have given them. You know, now people are saying we tired of seeing that. You know what I mean?
Y'all got to fly out the moon now.
You know what I mean? We tired of seeing that. That game is like, you know, it's just now all three. So now I'm sure the product will change a little bit over the next few years. But the viewers, we don't respect, you know, the actual essence and purity of the game. Like the game is both offense and defense. The top players is just the top offensive players.
Right.
That's it. It's the people that can they got special ability on offense. But what about both?
Right.
Because the game is played both ways. So like just how you have offensive skills, you got defensive skills.
Right.
Being able to chase through screens.
Right.
Being able to guard point guards, being able to guard centers, you know, being able to make plays at the rim, being able to pick up full court.
Right.
Like who can do that?
Right.
As a player, you have to, you know, and you can see certain players, they don't exert the same amount of energy.
Right. You take pride in defense.
Yeah, like I guard point guards.
Yeah.
Last night I was guarding
Tyrese.
I guard pick up full court. I pick up Steph, Dame, whoever full court if need be. I guard. Last night I was guarding B for a few possessions.
And my man
Maxey.
Nah, Jaylen.
Maxey.
Jaylen definitely be strapping up for sure, like for full court. Like yeah, man, like for sure, nuisance on defense as well.
Drew Holiday was guarding Embiid a lot too.
Drew Holiday was
That's a
guarding him
strong little.
That's a defensive skill set that we don't even value.
Highlight, they don't pay attention.
We don't even pay we don't put praise on it or give no love to it. We only give love to what people do offense. A lot of the top offensive players, you know, they put them on one of the players that's not doing nothing on offense.
Absolutely.
So they can save their energy.
Absolutely.
Or they put them on a big man.
Absolutely.
All they got to do is box out and rebound.
Right. You guard.
You got to really be in the trenches, chasing guys, trying to break through screens.
Right.
Transition guarding to close out with some of the best players and talent in the world. Doing that night in and night out. Not only is it you have to be in incredible shape, has a tremendous wear and tear on your body.
How much do you spend to stay in shape a year?
I do a lot, especially in the summertime. Y'all seen I've been doing like the pool workouts.
Yeah, but I'm saying paying for training, food, regimen. How much you think you probably spend a year?
It's probably. I remember when LeBron came out, he was like, yeah, he spent like $1 million on whatever. It's probably close to that. It's probably close. Maybe not $1 million, probably like somewhere in between 500, right, like 700 or something like that. But it's close to that, just because I have my own team of doctors. Because you know you got to go outside of some of the stuff that you do. I got my own trainers and stuff because the organizations only provide so much. But knowing that I exert energy at a high level on both ends, being 240 pounds.
That's a lot.
It's a lot of wear and tear on your body and your knees while playing 70 games. I don't miss a lot of games.
No, not at all.
You know what I mean? So, and I'm not just guarding the big.
You guarding whoever.
I'm chasing the point guards. I was guarding Maxey last night for the most part.
And fast.
Yes, he's fast. You know what I mean? So people don't understand that. Even like, the greatest I've seen to do that, I think at a very, very high level is Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah.
But you see the wear and tear that
he
it has
hurt
on your
though, but
body.
he be taking.
And people don't have respect for that. But when you do that at a high level, it just impacts the game at another level. And I think we have a bunch of two-way players on our team, and that's why I feel like we're going to put ourselves in great position to win, because we understand the game and not just the social media game. You got like basketball players and you got social media and media basketball players.
What's the difference?
You got real basketball players who know and respect the purity of the game, and then you got dudes out here doing moves just for
clicks and likes.
For clicks and likes and stuff like that.
Okay. See, the one thing about
to make
y'all,
it seem like they nice, but like they not really.
The one thing about y'all that I don't see no other team in the league that can compete with y'all. Y'all got the superstars, but the pieces y'all got around the superstars, the Peyton Pritchards, the Whites, the Holidays, that's a tough. Y'all got guys that could be on other teams starting. That's really coming off the bench, and like Peyton Pritchard could go somewhere else and start probably. Drew Holiday probably could go somewhere else and start if he's not starting.
Not
White could probably one of them start, but you feel what I'm saying? And it's like y'all got a real solid foundation as far as wing defenders, big men, shooters. Like you hit 65 threes on us last night, man.
Mm-hmm.
It was unbelievable, man. I by the time the third quarter came, I said, man, these still hitting threes. Because at the first half, you're like, all right, they wasn't sat down in the locker room. They gonna cool off a little bit. They come right out the locker room. Oh, man, cut the TV off, man. This done with, man. They still hitting threes. So, playoff time, I don't really see nobody beating y'all.
You told me that the Eagles gonna see them back. The Eagles, the Sixers that have it together by the time the playoffs.
No, I said the Sixers will make the playoffs by the time the playoffs come. We ain't doing nothing, man.
You think they gonna make? They down at the bottom, cuz.
Yeah, but
they're playing.
Yeah, they're playing. That's what I told you. But they ain't going. We not doing nothing, man. Maxie needs some help, man. He know it. That's why he sit there. He needs around. They be making fun of. We playing Joel tonight. Everybody, as soon as you get him on a one-on-one, go at him. His knee fucked up. I know they whole plan. That's all y'all did last night. They're going for screen. As soon as they get Joel on a one-on-one, they just back it out.
I'm not, hey.
Nigga badass nigga.
Yo, man.
Because I'm thinking it. I'm like, why they just keep taking Joel one-on-one? And then the commentator said it. All they're doing is going off a screen and then... Look at it.
I'm not, hey.
They take advantage.
I don't take
They
nobody lightly. I'm not sleeping on Philly. If they get to the playoffs, they got a chance to do something. So you never know in this league. So we not sleeping on nobody.
So he came in, he kept it real all the way up to that. Then he gave a company a corporate answer. Nah,
we got a chance.
We got a chance. They be in the locker room. You know, see, what he don't understand is, you know Pooh.
Yeah.
Drunk. You know that's our man, right?
Yeah, that's our people.
Mm-hmm. That's our peoples. Mm-hmm. He used to be telling us what y'all used to be saying. All we gotta do is do this. All we gotta do is do that. And he used to be telling me, I used to be thinking like, and that's how they think over there? Like, all they gotta do is do this and do this and get this person to play defense and it's over. And that's what y'all did to us, real talk, in the playoffs. Every year, I came up to Boston, rode up to Boston 2 years, they got us out there for no reason. Try 6 hours, longest ride back in the world, man. Get up there, they beat the shit out of us. I'm walking out the arena, everybody in green screaming at me, Kelly, I ain't and then I gotta take a 6-hour ride back to Philly. But man, we appreciate you for tapping in with us.
Nah, I've been loving what y'all doing, man. Like I said before, like we in the era of decentralization,
yes,
which means like these normal corporate outlets. Structures and outlets are not the same. It's just inevitable that we start to just, as the world is changing, empower others to do the same in other industries, not like just in media through podcasts, but
it's like if you're about the culture and got your own platform, make sure you utilize that too in regards to those efforts as well, and don't just be sitting back complaining. I like that.
Industry. Why not the music industry? Why not? The music industry needs some help. I say
that. It definitely do.
For sure. Like I did a song and I started learning about it. I was like, oh, it was traumatizing.
Oh yeah, they
it's crazy.
You gotta do how many streams to make what?
What? Yes. And then who control the streams? You know what I mean? So like that decentralization process is key. I love what y'all doing. Keep inspiring us. Like, you know, people don't want to see us continue to thrive in our culture because they want to continue to do business on our culture because it's an economic gain for them. Mm-hmm. So it's time for us to take matters into our own hands and encourage others to do that. In the past, maybe we didn't have the resources, but in 2025, I'm optimistic that we do. So I want y'all, as y'all continue to go and talk to people, man, continue to inspire them to take it into their own hands, collaborate,
Right.
joint ventures.
Absolutely.
Team up.
Yep.
Absolutely.
We stronger together. You don't got to start it from scratch. Sample it. Y'all know music, sample
Yeah,
it. Start with somebody and join up with them. You know what I mean? But the next 20 years are gonna look different.
Right.
And it's because of stuff like this. So I want y'all to continue to
And my
push that
thing
message.
is, anybody that know us know that we give our all the game. We don't hide no game from nobody. We don't hide no opportunities from nobody. If we can make a plug for you, we gonna make the plug for you. But as black people as whole, what we need to stop doing is getting together, toasting the celebrations, but we don't get no money together.
Investing together.
We all get together. This is what black excellence look like.
But we ain't really plugging each other
y'all
together.
get money together though?
Exactly. Invest together.
None of y'all.
Do a DAO. If you don't trust who gonna do a DAO, so we got to vote on where the money goes. Like,
Right.
But we got to start doing that more because that's what these other communities do.
Well, they
Right.
do DAOs all the time.
Exactly.
But they actually getting money together. They actually invest in things together. Black people, we'll all be successful. We'll all get together for a party or an event. We'll all salute each other, but we don't get no money together.
the time is now.
The time
like
is
that.
now.
The time is now.
The
It's a
time
call
is
Great
out.
now.
conversation.
Call out.
Even with me, I just called I just DM KD out the blue, cause I see he be making a lot of smart investments, and I'm like, KD, man, the next time you got something, man, let me know. I got some money, man.
For sure.
I want to invest too.
No more gatekeeping, man. I'm tired of the gatekeepers, even in the black community. I'm sick of them. You know what I mean? It don't make no sense that you to get successful and start acting like them. Stop gatekeeping.
Right.
You know what I mean? I plan on showing everybody how I do everything. You know what I mean? Because it's important for the next generation to be better than
For
this.
sure, bro.
Stop with the gatekeeping.
like nobody
bro.
be telling
I'm tired of
nobody.
And that's what we big on, showing people ownership. We own everything. We do licensing deals. So for us, it's like, bro, you gotta own something. You gotta have something. You just can't be out here just working here, work for this, work for this, work for this. You have to own something if you in this space, because this space is very productive. And if you not owning nothing, then that mean a person owning you.
And you got to understand something that's very important. Let me see that. This right here, everything you need, you got right here. Everything you need to find, everything you need to start with. This right here, you can shoot a movie. You can record an album. You can design a clothing line. You can start an app. Right here, this like, we be having this and we be using it, wasting time on social media, wasting time subscribing to everybody else's lives and worrying about what somebody doing, who doing this, the tabloids. You better get on this. This is a
Technology has
Oh my
many
God.
things so much
this
easier.
is true.
so much.
Right.
is
Starting
a
a
game
business
right here.
now, you can use, artificial intelligence
ChatGPT, boom.
to
Boom.
give you a marketing plan,
Yeah.
to handle your accounting,
Right.
to build you a whole business, everything. So
Finding the emails,
Right.
everything.
and there's new technology emerging too. So I want to make sure that our community is not the last to figure it out.
Figure it out, yeah.
As the world is changing and decentralizing, let's not be on the end of the curve.
Yeah.
Because then once it centralizes and once it becomes new,
Right.
you know what I mean, and somebody controls it, we always be the last to find out.
Absolutely.
So, I want it to be a call out. You know what I mean? The time is now. I know what's in the past, the optimism has been low. People have, made these assumptions about our community. But let the past be the past. I'm ready to build in the future. The future is different. It's a
Absolutely.
different game out here now.
Absolutely.
Y'all are examples of that. It's y'all
Absolutely.
podcast, man.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So let's keep inspiring that amongst our community, how to do it,
Yes.
how to come together, how to combine, how to join
Let's
up.
get it.
Cause right now we like in our last year of our deal. So we kind of feel like you felt 2 years ago.
Oh, it's ready to go. It's go
It's
time.
time, you know what I mean?
Super time.
We've kind of feel how you feel.
I feel it, But even beyond that, we got to own the network.
All that
Absolutely.
stuff we got, it's getting built right now.
You know what I mean?
I got that getting built right now.
Y'all got the voice, y'all got the talent, y'all got the eyeballs. Why not?
And we about to. You want to break the news here? Or you want to save it for later?
We save it.
Big things in the works. I like that.
We break the news now. We gonna get a bunch of deals.
Y'all want to break it over? Break it right now.
Break it right now. We gonna do a show. We gonna do
We got a show called the next hot podcast where we gonna go and we gonna find the next hot podcast and we gonna give him a bag. And we gonna give him the
blow
whole
him up.
infrastructure.
I
Give
love
him a
it.
team, put a team, like blow it up. You know what I mean? It's so many different shows out here that's doing it independently, but they don't know what a lot of people like. They don't know the infrastructure, the backing of it. We
For
know
sure.
the backing. We got the
That's
backing.
yeah, once you know this, the infrastructure is
You
so
know,
key.
right.
That's what
That
I'm
is
building
true.
now is the infrastructure to everything. And a lot of the person that I'm looking into the most, who I'm inspired by the most, is Kobe. Kobe Bryant, the late great. You know, learning about him, his infrastructure, what he was doing towards the end of his career, is what I'm interested in. The time is now.
Absolutely.
Yes, it is.
The time is now.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, man, we just want to thank you
I
for
appreciate
pulling
you,
up,
man.
man. Wish you, stay healthy for the rest of the season, man. You know, hopefully you don't come across my Sixers in the playoffs.
Ain't nothing gonna happen. Cause
I know they gonna get us the f- out of here. That's what I know. But we'll be back next year.
You say that every year.
No, I believe. I'm a real fan.
But I'm just saying.
All real fans
You've been
say
saying
next
that
year.
for a long time.
Since 82, 83 season, you're right. I was like 7.
That's a bad
Don't
feeling.
worry about it. But we'll be back next year because this year ain't looking too good. You know what I mean? But shout out to Pure Fuel, the official sports drink of the Philadelphia
Shout out to
76ers
them.
and the Chicago Sky.
Yes, sir.
That's one of our products. And Jaylen Brown, man, appreciate you, man. Young legend,
Sure.
NBA champion, Finals MVP.
Player on my team. We won. We got rings, baby. That's all we wear is
Oh
jersey.
man, shut up, man. It's just like that.
Right.
Man, super, super great interview. Shout out to Jaylen. Shout out to $1 million worth of game, Gillian Wallow. A lot of great game in that interview. A lot of great game. So make sure y'all like and subscribe. Make sure y'all comment some of y'all favorite moments at the bottom. Like I said, I definitely want to start threads. And yeah, I'm going to start streaming and definitely start kicking out a little bit more original content. But I'm definitely liking these Watch With Me videos. I try to make them informative. Some are going to be funny and, like I said, going to be a little bit more on the entertaining side. But I definitely try to educate as well. Y'all already know it's The Wave and I'm out. I see y'all on the next one.